So it's August 22nd, it's a little after 5 o'clock. It's quitting time. Well, at least for today. Here's the boiler project. Here will be our update on the boiler project. We have all 8 panels. Oops. The 8 boiler panels are on site. There's 4 right there. Those are the original 4 that were here. So that's cool, that's ready to go. So we have everything on site, in theory, other than a few ancillary things. These are the cold water tanks. There's 2 of them. Pressure tanks for cold water. There's the box. I don't know what you can see with the light. Let me get a lighting device here. There you go. 2 lights. It's getting late in the day. The 2 Insta-Heats, we talked about that before. There's the condensate tank, expansion tank, and then these are just some other back plates and whatnot for the boiler. Yeah, so boiler project. Where's the boiler project going? Monday, September 1st is when the boys show up. We needed a little time to notice the building. We wanted to give them a good week and a half, solid week and a half, so nobody can whine about this. But I will give you daily updates because I think they're going to be moving pretty quickly. They're anticipating a 14 to 16 day turnaround from start to finish. Complete. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool indeed.
He does this every once in a while, and I follow along. Yeah. Do a flip.
Do it?
That was a terrible flip. I didn't. So hip.
So hip.
Incredible.
It's been a week since I've checked on them. Actually cracked it open and checked on them. I'm going to give them one more week. I'm not checking on them this weekend. I'll wait till next week. And if we don't have brood by next week, then I know we've lost them. But when I checked last weekend, I was able to find both queens. Both queens were pretty active. Structurally, they looked very, very good. They were walking around in patterns that were indicative of a fertilized female, but it's hard to say. It can take 3 or 4 weeks from when a queen is born to before she starts laying. They've got to go off and do their thing and mature a little bit and blah, blah, blah. So they'll either make it or they won't. We'll know by next weekend. Like I said, one more week. I'm going to crack the hives open after leaving them alone for about 2.5 weeks. And if we have brood, if we have capped cells, then we can dance a little bit. If not, we're going to have a honey party. So we'll see what happens. So I didn't get a chance to take any video because of the hectic pace I was working, but I just, as of Friday, just completed a 1-bedroom apartment in the same building as the last one I did, and pretty much the same condition as the last one that I did. But this one I didn't have a 6 or 8 week turnaround. It became available August 1st, and he had it rented out, and the people are moving in Labor Day weekend. So I had about a 21-day turnaround to remodel a kitchen, get the floors redone, get all the paint done, and the windows replaced. Fortunately, I have a decent window supplier that was able to get my Milgard windows. They got it to me about 16 days after I ordered them, which was awesome. There were 8 windows in there, and I just got all the windows done last Friday. And the cleaning crew will be there Monday. I've got a few little things to go there and touch up and do on Monday, and then the cleaning crew's coming in Monday afternoon. And then the tenant gets the keys and they'll move in Labor Day weekend. So that was a pretty crazy pace. Now on to the lathe. On to my lathe. Oh baby, I have had some awesome fun with this. Take a look at this. Right? Chips are success. The sign of victory. So I was messing around with this thing. I was just turning different things, different types of metals. I was turning brass. I was turning a couple different types of steel, different hardness. And I noticed there was a chatter in the tool post holder. And there was a bit of a chatter, and it wasn't really cutting a smooth edge. And I kept thinking it was me. Maybe I just didn't have the cutting bit incorrectly. And then, let me show you what I saw. Right, when I'd come in and take a decent cut out of the metal, this thing was vibrating a little bit. So as any kid well, as I would always do on Christmas morning, I was the kid that always took his toys apart to see what made them tick on the inside. I completely disassembled this whole cutting trolley here, everything, down to its bare component parts. And I did it over a series of about 3 nights during the week. I come up from work, spent a couple hours taking it all apart. I cleaned it and oiled everything, put it all back together, and it works perfectly. And what I did find out when we got this thing, right, this cross slide here can pivot, horizontally pivot this way. Of course it slides in and out, right? But there was a bolt here that you loosened. The bolt is here. That's the one that you loosen to make this slide, and it was a 15mm bolt. This is it right here. And I'm sitting there going, thinking that, I'm looking at it, I'm going, you know, something's not right here. Why would this machine that's 60 years old, made in the USA, have anything metric on it? There's nothing metric on this device. So I took it off, I took this whole thing apart, and then I came to realize that there's a matching bolt, and I totally forgot about this, on the back side. Let's see if I can show you. I'm going to get back behind here. Where is it? That doesn't really matter. You know what I mean. Down here. Down here. So, and it was missing. It was missing. So no matter how tight you would tighten this, when you really start hogging on this thing, you're going to get it lifting on this side of the plate. That was awesome. So finding that was pretty cool, and then I put the correct bolts on here. They're SAE a half inch wrench fits on there. So a 1/2 inch wrench, and I found a matching one for that side. So that's totally awesome. And then while I had this all apart, I got a really good look at the screw drives and the little trolleys that control both of these slides, and they really were in fantastic shape, absolutely fantastic shape. You can adjust this crushed sleeve nut here, and then this collar here. I took all the play out of this completely. Before there was about, oh, I don't know, I could probably go back and forth like this before I obtained any movement. But now you can tell, I don't know if you can tell. Anyway, with how you adjust this nut, this backing nut, and same thing here, there's zero play in this, which is really, really cool to when you're trying to figure out what your cuts are. Look at that, nothing. I don't know how well you can tell the movement because it's pretty compounded. But anyway, I was able to get all the play out of everything, and it was pretty minor to begin with, but oh, and then you've got, see how these are dovetailed in. Let's see if we can see probably better on this one. Slide this over a sec. You know, these cross slides are dovetailed in, and there's a little thrust plate on this side that's adjusted by 4 screws, set screws that push it into here, and that's what really secures these down to the dovetailed grooves. Those were all loose and out of adjustment. Pretty much every nut and bolt on this machine was loose and out of adjustment. So like I said, took it apart. I think it was about 3 nights. Took the whole thing apart, cleaned everything up, oiled it up really good, and man almighty, it is awesome. Well, now I need to come through here and clean this out. I need to get everything a good brush down and clean down. This is some of the stuff I've been messing with after, post getting everything adjusted and getting this true to the face of the chuck here, of the 3-jaw chuck. Getting this, finding its absolute zero. This is just a brass gas line fitting for a stove, guys. This it's got 1/2 inch normal pipe threads on the inside. It used to have 3/4 inch threads to go in a 3/4 inch thread on the outside, and then this was the flare nut. So I got to mess with the chuck and the tailstock. I drilled out the centerpiece, and then I shaved off just to see how this thing cut. And I really love how this thing cuts brass, and I may take it down even more just to mess with it. And then on some carbon steel, I was just messing around, just trying different back cuts, different angles, trying to get different bevels, different tips, whatever. This is just a bolt, just a non-hardened, non-rated zinc bolt. And I made a few things for a neighbor today. As a matter of fact, he's restoring a couple of those 1970 little trail bikes. I think they were Hondas. Anyway, he had these pins for the brake arm. And he was missing, anyway, he was missing them. So I said, oh man, I was talking to him. I said, come on over, we'll make one. So it was pretty cool. I got to try this out, being all adjusted and fit, and everything was right. And we had a rusty old pitted one that I could use as a gauge, and I made 2 of them for him. It was pretty cool. Just messed it out of threaded rod, just regular carbon steel. So that's that. There's a quick update. Look at that, no play. Oh man, that's nice. Nothing. It's just there's no play. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Nothing. It moves. The minute you turn the handle, it moves. It's awesome. And this thing cleaned up. I took all this apart. You guys did that. It did that before, but it does it even better now. Thanks for watching. Gotta go. See ya.